This is the Talking Texas Rangers podcast, sponsored by Game Time. If you're looking for the best place to get tickets to any sporting event, including the Texas Rangers, check out Game Time today. Use the link in the description. Support the channel. Your purchase of Game Time tickets. And without further ado, let's dive into today's first topic. Rangers signing Michael Lorenzen over Jordan Montgomery may have actually saved their season. The world is a wild place when signing Michael Lorenzen over a guy that helped carry Texas to a title somehow looks great. Almost everyone agreed that the Texas Rangers should have tried to bring Jordan Montgomery back for this season and beyond much harder than they did. Montgomery was such a crucial part of Texas's run to the World Series, and they needed starting pitching, so the fit was an easy one. Unfortunately, the Rangers' revenue situation due to their TV rights woes made them feel as though they could not afford Montgomery. But not that this is actually true. It isn't. They could have definitely afforded Montgomery. It looks like the Rangers passing on Montgomery and instead going out and signing Michael Lorenzen may have actually been one of the few things that has gone right for Texas in 2024. Lorenzen is thriving with the Rangers while Montgomery is struggling with his new team. In fairness to Montgomery, it does look like he might have gotten screwed by Scott Boras as he signed with Arizona so late that they didn't get his spring training. His mishandling of his free agency got him fired, but that doesn't change the fact that Montgomery has not looked good early in his tenure with the Diamondbacks. Through Montgomery's first 8 starts this season, he holds just a .548 ERA with a big drop-off in his strikeout rate so far, which already wasn't great to begin with. Conversely, Lorenzen has been doing really strong work in the Rangers' rotation since joining the club. While he doesn't have the most exciting peripherals in the world, especially when it comes to missing bats, all of Lorenzen's pitches are grading out well this year. His .296 ERA is a massive improvement over what Monty has been doing. We'll never know how much better, if at all, Montgomery would have been if he got a full spring training, but Lorenzen signed very late as well. While the right-hander needed a little bit of timing to get up to speed, he has been strictly better than Montgomery this year. Whether that remains true all year long is a fair question when you consider both players' track records. However, Montgomery can opt out of his deal after this season as long as he makes 10 starts. And if he is good, Texas could end up getting him back next year anyways. So let us know in the comment section below. Would you rather have Montgomery or Michael Lorenzen currently, based on their current stats? And with that, we dive into our next topic. The Rangers losing Jon Gray to IL was a lot more significant than fans might have realized. No injury is great, but Jon Gray's ailment couldn't have come at a worse time for the Rangers. Anyone who has followed the Texas Rangers this season knows that they must have some sort of curse on them when it comes to injuries. Getting Wyatt Langford and Nathan Eovaldi back from the IL this week was great, but they still have a lot of guys out on both sides of the ball. One such injury befell Jon Gray last week when he was placed in the IL with a groin issue. The injury was described as mild. It couldn't have come at a worse time for the Rangers. Not only had Texas been scuffling terribly before winning 4 of their last 5, but Gray looked like he was working on a special season since the beginning of April. Since April 6th, Jon Gray had 9 games, 48.1 inning pitches, a 1.3 ERA, a 1.06 whip, a 26% strike rate, and a 6% walk rate. Jon Gray's injury could derail his special run and halt the Rangers' progress. Given everything that has gone wrong for the Rangers this year, Gray had been a rare bright spot. Now, with Corey Seager finally waking up and trying to carry the offense, the Rangers have to go without a guy that was putting up ace-like numbers this year. Even if Gray is only out for the minimum 15 days, which is not a sure thing at all given how 2024 has gone, there is no guarantee that he will be able to capture that magic again. Again, there are signs that Texas could actually be getting more healthy again soon. However, Texas really needed Gray to keep being the guy he was on the mound before he got hurt to climb out of the hole they had dug for themselves this year. Instead, Ranger fans just have to hope that he can pick right up where he left off and dominate once he eventually returns. The problem with that kind of optimism is that it requires some good fortune, and the Rangers have decidedly lacked that this season. At some point, Texas has to have some things break their way, right? And now we got some updates on Max Scherzer and John Gray, as well as some updates on Justin Foskey's progress. It's no secret that the Texas Rangers roster has been hit hard by injuries in 2024. The defending World Series champs have had their work cut out for them while trying to be the first team since the 2000 New York Yankees to win back-to-back World Championships. While missing Josh Young has affected the Rangers lineup, players like Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia, and Corey Seager have helped to offset the All-Stars' absence. Texas's starting rotation, however, is a different story. The Rangers have seen far too many starters land on the IL this season, and while there's hope that the team will return to full strength sometime after the All-Star break, those reinforcements can't come soon enough. One of the biggest holes in the Rangers' starting rotation has been the loss of Max Scherzer. There was hope earlier this season that the former Cy Young Award winner would make it back before June, but his placement on a 60-day IL last month guaranteed that wasn't going to happen. Scherzer had a setback during his rehab processes, but threw a bullpen session over the weekend. The next order of business in his progression will be facing live batters. There's a chance that the 8-time All-Star could take that step on Monday. The Rangers desperately need Scherzer back in the rotation, but he's not the only key starter who's on the IL. While the Rangers are hopeful that Scherzer will face live hitters on Monday, starter John Gray is scheduled to do just that. The right-hander had been sidelined since late May with a groin injury. Gray has been arguably Texas's best starter this season. Like we previously mentioned, the 32-year-old is 2-2 with a 2.21 ERA, 56 strikeouts, and 57 innings of work this season. There's a chance that Gray could return to the Rangers' starting rotation as soon as the team's series against the San Francisco Giants this week. Justin Foskey's Major League debut was an abbreviated one. Almost as soon as the infielder was called up, he was forced to hit the IL with a left oblique strain. The Rangers shifted Foskey from the 10-day to the 60-day IL midway through the month of April. According to the Dallas Morning News, Foskey has resumed baseball activities and is taking swings off live pitching. The next step will undoubtedly be a rehab assignment. If there's room on the roster, Texas could recall Foskey back to the majors rather quickly. Foskey is one of the Rangers' top position players currently on the IL, joining the aforementioned young and rookie outfielder Evan Carter. Ranger fans are hoping Jack Leiter doesn't join the long list of Texas draft busts. Jack Leiter's initial impression in the big leagues has him on track to make the history books for all the wrong reasons. After getting absolutely torched in his Texas Rangers home debut, Jack Leiter's major league outlook is extremely uncertain. Down in the minors, he fools hitters and his stuff looks lively and dominant. However, in his 3 starts in the big leagues, Leiter hasn't been able to come close to replicating that success, as he has a horrid 16.39 ERA in just 9 innings of work. At this point, Ranger fans have to be wondering if Leiter will ever figure things out now that Texas officially sent him back down to the minors again. He still has time before Texas potentially decides to give up on it, but Leiter's struggles sure do have him trending towards joining what has become a long list of recent draft failures for the Rangers. When Leiter was selected 2nd overall by Texas, the expectation was that he would be a stalwart member of their rotation for the future. Pitchers are always a risk, but Leiter was one of the surer bets in the 2021 draft class, and now he is anything but that. That said, he still has a way to go to be a worse pick than some of Texas's worst draft busts in recent years. For example, the Rangers had 2 first-round picks in the 2010 MLB draft because they failed to sign their first-round pick, Matt Perk, the previous year. And with the 15th and 22nd overall pick in that draft, Texas ended up with outfielder Jake Skole and catcher Kellin Deglan. Skole never amounted to much and failed to reach the big leagues before leaving organized baseball in 2016. Deglan hung on a bit longer and made it to AAA before being released in 2022. Guys who the Rangers could have drafted instead of them include Christian Yelich, Sanchez, and Nick Castellanos, all big leaguers and all stars. Looking at higher draft picks, Texas picked Dillon Tate 4th overall back in 2015. After he couldn't and wouldn't make adjustments as a pro when his stock declined, Tate got traded for Carlos Beltran, despite his raw talent, and now he's struggling to hang on as a reliever. Going back a bit further, Kiker was the Rangers' 12th overall pick in 2006, and he never did much as Texas was left wondering what could have been if Tim Lincecum, Max Scherzer, or Clayton Kershaw had fallen to them. In short, Leiter still has time to figure things out. He appears to be motivated to shore up his weaknesses, and he is still just 24 years old. However, he doesn't have forever to establish himself as a big leaguer, especially with the Rangers having title aspirations in the coming years. If he doesn't, he will join some not-so-elite company in Rangers history. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Leiter will be a bust, or will he finally find his footing in the majors? Let us know. And now on to our next topic. Jordan Montgomery finally got his World Series ring from the Rangers, and it was a beautiful moment. Monty was back in Arlington this week. The Texas Rangers battled a familiar foe. Last week at Globe Life Field, a World Series rematch against the Diamondbacks took place in Arlington. Last October, the Rangers and D-backs met in the Fall Classic with Texas emerging as victors. The Rangers won the series in just 5 games and took home the Commissioner's Trophy for the first time in franchise history. Earlier this season, all the players who were part of the Rangers' World Series run received the ultimate prize that every Major League player aspires to have, a World Series championship ring. But not every member of the 2023 squad is still part of the Rangers organization. Earlier this season, when the Mariners came to town, former Rangers slugger Mitch Garver received his championship ring. With the Diamondbacks in town, it was time for Jordan Montgomery to finally get his Skole. Montgomery became a free agent this past offseason, and while there were certainly discussions about reaching a contract agreement with the left-handed hurler, the Rangers chose to go in a different direction. Rather than acquiesce to Montgomery's contract demands, Texas instead inked the likes of Tyler Mahle and Michael Lorenzen to shorter-term deals. Montgomery lingered on the open market for quite some time, and while there was multiple teams rumored to have interest in the southpaw, he eventually landed a 1-year deal with the Diamondbacks. Montgomery did not pitch during the 2-game series against the Rangers, but that didn't stop Texas manager Bruce Bochy and GM Chris Young from giving the left-handed pitcher his championship ring and enjoying an embrace on the field. Montgomery took the loss in his lone World Series appearance, allowing 4 runs on 9 hits in his Game 2 start. Monty was the Rangers' best starter in the ALCS against the Astros, in which he logged 14 innings and 3 appearances, striking out 10 and posting a 1.29 ERA. He was also instrumental in the team staying afloat during the second half of the regular season. Though he may not be part of the Rangers organization anymore, Montgomery received a warm welcome from the Texas faithful in attendance at Tuesday's game and will be fondly remembered for helping deliver a World Series championship to the Rangers. And before we go, we'd like to remind you can give us a thumbs up if you like our video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can buy some coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TTRangers. And of course, we'd like to remind you, if you're looking for the best place to find sporting event tickets or even concert tickets, head on over to Game Time. Use the link in the description and you can support the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.